one. What's up, nerds? Welcome back to Damn It Rad Podcast. As always, it's me, Rad, here with Big John, Bear, and we got Nicky Nick there on the end. Alright, this is the Badass Podcast, where we're going to discuss some of our favorite badasses. Any volunteers to go first, or y'all want me to go?
Why don't you start? Why don't you break the ice?
My badass today is from American folklore, Pecos Bill.
Okay.
So, the story of Pecos Bill, for those of you not familiar, so as Pecos Bill's family was heading out west, he fell off the back of their wagon, and nobody noticed because his mom had 17 fucking kids.
Damn, it's a vagina, not a clown car.
It's not even a clown car, it's a fucking slide.
Damn.
Obviously, he was the least favorite.
Obviously, he was the youngest.
Just on the back.
So, once he falls out of this motherfucker, and nobody notices. Just nobody notices till they get to where they're going, and they come back and they're like, he's not here anymore. He got adopted by the coyote trickster god, like Grandpa Coyote, and grew up in the wild as a fucking coyote. Man had no idea he was a dude. He didn't look at the coyotes, look at himself, and go, huh, that's kind of fucking different.
Yeah.
So, whenever he grew up, his brother found a naked man hanging out with coyotes in the wilderness and was like, you're a person. Pecos is like, nah, I'm definitely a fucking coyote. He's like, no, look, do this. And he, I don't like a paw.
Huh.
So,
Didn't Disney make a video on this?
sort of.
In all my years, I never noticed I had hands.
Right. So he winds up the leader.
Look at that shit.
Right. You would think after like the
Man,
first,
I bet he regretted becoming a man.
he never truly believed he was a man.
Prom night must have been
I don't
rough.
think- They didn't have prom in the Wild West. It's called a brothel, and they would do anything with anybody.
He probably...
It was like you in high school. They were just trying to find somebody to touch it.
Oh,
That's-
that's
yeah.
baby, think you a coyote? We can do coyote shit.
And as legends go, he took over his brother's like gang of cowboys or whatever.
Yeah.
His horse Widowmaker is allegedly Pegasus. He just changed his name.
Should it have wings?
No, it didn't have wings. It was a different Pegasus. It was like Pegasus' third cousin.
He identified as Pegasus.
Yeah, it was self-identified Pegasus, but he renamed it Widowmaker because that's more badass and super masculine, big veiny cock. Yep, big veiny cock.
Why are we talking about horse cock?
Yeah, because that's Widowmaker. He saw Widowmaker. He's like, my name's Pegasus. He's like, that's kind of fruity. And Pegasus goes,
I don't know about that.
Widowmaker. He lassoed a
Tornado, huh?
tornado and made the Grand Canyon.
He made the Grand Canyon by lassoing a tornado?
By fighting a tornado for 3 days and 3 nights after he lassoed it. And now him and Widowmaker can just take a fucking tornado anywhere they go. And that is my first badass, is Pecos Bill. He still doesn't know he's not a fucking coyote, but, well, how'd they say it in Tall Tale? I know you've watched it recently with Gabriel.
Yeah, me and Gabe watched it, I forget, but I'm not sure where you're going.
Well, he has a whole big speech about
There's
introducing himself.
Doesn't he mean the code of the West? Oh, no, you're talking about, whatever his quote is.
Yeah.
You can Google it and figure it out.
We'll Google it later.
Kane, put it here on a piece of, just like a...
I still think he's gonna come across with a signature no.
just splice in a piece of Disney. No, wait, never mind.
Can we get a clip art piece of like a shitty drawing of Pecos Bill thinking he's a coyote?
I can draw a picture of Pecos Bill and you can put this one.
Can you draw Widowmaker Pegasus' big veiny horse cock
I can.
to show how badass he was?
Yes.
Sweet.
There's going to be a lot of detail on the member of the horse.
Yeah, it's going to be bigger than the horse.
I know we
Very
can't,
little detail
I know we
on
can't
the
say the
horse.
R word, but is cock okay?
There's an R word for penis.
R word for what you do with the penis. Okay. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Doesn't matter.
I have a badass. I do. And Kane, feel free to put his clip art right here. Any clip art, you can Google it.
Any clip art?
Yep. I'm related to Stormy Daniels.
That's both.
I don't think Stormy Daniels is a badass.
So
I think she has a badass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She banged the president.
I don't know, man. How many dicks can you take at once?
Right. Right.
I've always wanted to get Barrett a pocket pussy of Stormy Daniels. That way he's fucking his cousin.
No, we're in Louisiana.
I mean, like, you could buy it and I'll just give it to my cousin Dave.
Yeah, his last name is Daniels.
Double D. Dave Daniels, double D. And then Stormy has the double D's.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I mean, she's a porn star. She plays a bunch of dudes.
She also has a talk show now where she talks about her career and shit, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's a career. I think you just bang
It
a bunch
was
of
a
dudes.
career.
You just bang a bunch of dudes.
Made a lot of money.
Just like 20 minutes of talking about dicks.
That's it.
Or as they call it on the internet, the Damn It Rad podcast.
Yeah, there's one she called the Widowmaker. Yeah, that's it. That sounded like a snare drum. Jesus.
We gotta stop doing that. Alright, John? Who's your badass?
Mythological?
Either it could be mythological, historical, whatever.
Well, one that comes to mind. Historical. We'll go historical first, not personal. We're still gonna do personal one?
We can, yeah.
Okay. Historical would be Roy Benavidez. I think his Medal of Honor story is like completely badass. If you can Google it right now, there or anybody going to fact check me. But I'm pretty sure in Vietnam, like he literally like saved everyone on the battlefield at one point. And they thought he was dead, but his like guts were hanging out and all this stuff, and he was still loading guys in the chopper. And then finally, you know, he was opening fire with this M16 and stuff. And
In Vietnam, I don't think they had an M16.
well, whatever they did, it was M16.
It was an M1 Grand.
No, it was M16. And that was the first experimental, like, that was experimental weapon back then. They put it in the field because they needed it. But anyway, his guts were hanging out and his face was so beat up. He was Mexican, right? And so his face swole up so bad that they, at the end of the battle, and he was laid out on the ground because he collapsed, they had like loaded him up. And this is a paraphrase of everything that happened to the dude. He was awesome. But they loaded him up in the chopper, and at the end they thought that he was a VC because his head was so swollen. They thought he was Asian, right? And
Is that racist?
I mean, that's literally in his story in the Medal of Honor that he won.
Fair.
And he had to like spit in the doctor's face to let him know he was alive because they were about to zip the body bag up and send him off to die. You know.
He must have been a shitty doctor.
Yeah.
It was Vietnam. So
It was probably a medic.
It was a
Not
shitty
really
everything.
doctor, but yeah.
They had doctors as medics in Vietnam.
The medic and doctor are different things.
Yeah, it's like a paramedic. You
But
know?
it's not even a paramedic, it's ATB.
Yeah.
They had field doctors.
They have field doctors, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. You can Google it and find out. His whole
That's
story
right.
is there.
Not shitty.
Roy Benavidez, but yeah, really badass dude, Medal of Honor, and he went on to like, you know, full military career and stuff, and did like speeches and stuff at schools to tell kids not to quit, you know, and to stay off of drugs, because you know they always add in stay off of
I'm
drugs.
just saying, like, after that experience, the one thing I would do is drugs.
Yeah. No, he didn't. He's a big,
God,
tough dude. So.
how about, like, have you ever, not that I condone this activity by any means, but have you read the drug regimen of Hunter S. Thompson? Oh my God.
It's a lot.
Oh, dude. So, he was writing, I think, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And like, it's ungodly how much drugs this person could handle before he finally sat down. He woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and ate like ice cream and did drugs and drank alcohol. And like, he went all the way like through drugs, breakfast, small break in a hot tub, drugs, lunch, drugs, riding a limousine to a club, drugs, home, dinner drugs, dessert drugs, and then he'd write from like
Dessert drugs?
nighttime, yeah, dessert drugs, from like midnight until like 5 o'clock in the morning or something. I don't know if he slept. I don't know if there was sleep in this regimen.
There's eventually a crash.
And then like there was hardcore porn playing in the background. As
Stormy Daniels?
Yeah, Stormy Daniels was there. As he was as he did all that
Yeah,
stuff.
think y'all can get her to come on the pod.
I mean, anything's possible.
No?
No.
Don't be scared.
All right, Nick. Who is your badass?
Let's see. I mean, I can't really think of a whole lot off the top of my head. I don't know a lot of folklore.
Any badasses?
I guess I'd kind of have to go along with
Leave that out.
similar lines of John Bunn. I'd have to say Desmond Dawes from Hacksaw Ridge. That guy was, I mean, to go through an entire war and never fire a shot at anybody or carry any kind of a weapon, and I mean the countless people that he had saved in that time period as well, you know, is a feat in and of itself.
Oh, dude, chaplains are badasses.
Feet.
It's a feat in itself, Barrett.
So we're not talking about like feet. Feet is feet.
Yeah, like the pictures of feet you have on your phone.
Like big feet.
Speaking of which,
Thinking of drinking and stuff, like, and legends, if you will. Have you seen the thing like it's going around on social media, like YouTube and
I have
TikTok,
I have another one.
of people trying to follow Winston Churchill's daily drinking regimen?
How much
So
does Winston
drink, like,
Churchill
in a
drink?
day?
all the
A
time.
lot. Like he woke
I
up in the
did.
morning and had brandy. So
I did see the one on how much George Washington's presidential party drank, and that is an obscene amount.
Yeah.
Winston Churchill, we hardly knew you.
We should do one time where we try to drink like Winston Churchill, see who cops out first.
Well, Kane
I'm
was.
gonna come out on
Well, no, Big Daddy was telling me about a bar where he's from that did the 24-hour challenge.
What do you do?
One beer every hour for 24 hours. You got to stay up. You got to drink.
That's easy.
I can do that.
You said you mean Tuesday?
I can absolutely do that.
This sounds like Tuesday.
But I
to me,
figure
right?
we'll get Kane to go talk to him. We'll film it all and just like cut it. Like write down times that shit happens.
Does it have to be a different beer every hour?
I don't know. I don't know the full details of the challenge, but I know you have to be in the building for 24 hours drinking.
Because here's the thing, I like light beers, and I'll drink a like one of the cane beers that he likes drinking every once in a while. But all these IPAs that you have to convince yourself that it actually tastes good. Man,
I'll drink a nice hef.
Yeah, me too.
I like a hefty spicy.
Me too.
All right, so who's the badass you thought about?
Andre the fucking Giant, bro.
Oh yeah, did you see a beer can in that dude?
Dude, look, I have a 250 Big Red at my house, and he's got one too.
Oh, they have a picture of him.
Oh my god, he looks like a goddamn circus bear.
He's just
Driving that thing. But like the thing, like the man weighed like what, 400 something pounds?
7 foot tall, 500 pounds.
Yeah, I mean he could like the Big Red towed his ass around. That's awesome.
I bet you that
And
thing always
he-
sounded like it was pig.
I bet you the shocks on it. Just the shocks on it's like.
Because like John Bond drove my 3-wheeler one time, and I was like, fuck man, that's he's old as shit.
Yeah, let me tell you what Barrett did to me. We swapped 4-wheeler and 3-wheeler one time. Just
Oh yeah. I fixed it since then.
somebody forgot to tell me that he was missing a very important part of his vehicle.
Brakes.
You should just assume that no Honda has brakes.
But look,
And old Rad likes to go fast.
look. Have you ever asked somebody, hey, you want to go mud riding? And they're like, no, I can't. I'm sorry, my Honda's broken.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
actually happened to me.
There's not a
many
lot.
times.
Dude, no
It's
way.
quite often.
Dude, I could fuck up a wet dream. Like, come on, man.
That happens more often than you think.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, I have a 1987 Big Red. It's older than me, and it still runs like a fucking top. It's awesome.
That's why I didn't have brakes.
Well, it did. I said it runs.
It doesn't stop.
Right. I said it runs. So it stops now. I have brakes on it now.
You got Fred Flintstone brakes there.
Remember when we were at the management area?
Down
Barrett
to-
told us to cross the puddle first to see if we could get across it.
I didn't tell you to cross it. That was Trevor was like, hey, I wonder if I can cross
10
it.
feet in, we were waist deep in water,
Yeah.
and I had my my good boots on.
Yeah. And then also, do you remember whenever that guy cut the wires on my trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
That was the same freaking
Somebody
trip.
cut the
Dude, you
wire.
remember that hall?
Yes, we go up there to go duck hunting. It was me and John Mon and Trevor, and we had it awesome time. We had a great time. We went there, good duck hunting. You know, we had a badass time ourselves.
Besides the sympathy squirrel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The sympathy squirrel. Right. The squirrel of sympathy has come to visit you.
Parrot was not patient in that.
I mean, I was like, look, here comes ducks. It's like,
I'm calling them in. They turned around.
Right, they turned around and we're sitting in this hole where you gotta fucking say, excuse me to shoot. And like, it was like...
No, it was just us and one other person.
No, bullshit! They had like people on the
No,
other
it was
side.
us and like a dude and his son.
So it was a dude, his son, and his grandson.
Oh,
so what had happened was we found the most secluded spot on the whole management area. We thought we hiked in there with a bateau, like literally hiked in there with a bateau.
all of us over 6 foot, all of us over 200.
We all got in the bateau. It was like about this far away from lapping over the sides. We rode out there in the bateau, and we're golden. About 5 minutes before shooting light, we see headlights tromping through the woods, and Barrett goes, "You've got to be fucking kidding me."
Yeah.
And they came and sat up right next to us.
They did.
And Barrett was like, "Well, I guess we'll just try." And try we did, and we did not succeed because these guys were shooting at the ducks.
4 treetop
Dude,
high.
we saw fucking mallards, and I started calling them back.
Yeah.
And they turned around, they were coming back, and they weren't low enough.
We had a flock of woodies coming in our face.
But they weren't low enough. Barrett loves it when a flock of woodies comes in his face. What's that down there, Widowmaker? We're gonna put that on a t-shirt for you. I had a flock of woodies come in my face. Is that gonna be our awards at the end of the season?
Yeah.
We're just gonna give out woodies.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why my cousin's not allowed on the show.
That's up there with I'll come on 2 bears.
Yeah.
I was hoping we wouldn't repeat that phrase ever again. We just shot that in the foot.
Oh, dude. Man. But yeah, I mean, the morning before we did well.
Oh, we hit our limit.
The morning before we hit our limit. We were done. And we had a good time. And we went back to the camp and we grilled steaks and had a badass time. You know, it's always the morning that you gotta leave. Always the morning you gotta leave.
Dude, do you remember that hog we saw?
Yeah.
That thing was a fucking
Yes.
monster.
Yes.
And the Barrett got mad because I just whipped him a gun out and started shooting behind him.
Yeah, he did. I was like, what are you doing?
I'm like killing a hog.
I've done that before, but he's never got mad at me.
So, alright. I'm gonna tell that story.
It's because he could ditch you.
I'm gonna tell that story. Alright.
Not feel bad
Nah,
about it.
So,
we were in his vehicle.
so there is
I'm not doing that in my truck.
a bar up by our camp. In the bar, I don't want to say it's by our camp.
Oh,
you
God.
gotta drive 45 minutes.
I know the bar you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's an okay little bar, you know? For the area, you know, you go up in there, it's got pool tables.
Bartenders cross-eyed.
Bartenders cross-eyed.
We have the big queen
That's it.
over there.
The type of place that this establishment is. I had a Crown Royal bag full of quarters. And we were going up there to go play pool. So we go up there. You know, I bring my Crown Royal bag with me. I set it on the counter next to one of the only 2 pool tables I have up there. And me and Nick stay up there forever playing pool. We started at like 9 o'clock. The lady ordered food from us. She was like, "Hey, are y'all hungry?" I was like, "Yeah, we didn't eat dinner." And she was like, "Well, what do you want?" You know, and I was like, "What do you mean what I want?" She was like, "Well, it's just like there's a pizza place in Faraday," and I was like, "Farady's like we're 30 minutes away." And she was like, "I know somebody coming in. What do you want?" You know.
I would like a steak medium rare over a bed of risotto.
She asked if we wanted steak. You know,
I think that lady would have given me whatever I wanted.
Yeah. She liked
You
Nick.
put on that charm.
She liked Nick. She would
I
have.
don't know, I was just drunk.
You got 2 bottles, one to dip and one to drink.
Yeah. She would have gave Nick something that itched.
Herpes.
But anyway.
She had enough money to pay for it.
You know it's her piece because it's hers, not his piece.
So we're out there. We're playing pool. Lady orders us food. Food. We leave. We get there at probably about 9 o'clock. We leave at maybe 1 in the morning. They said they close at 2. there's 2 cops in this area, and one of them lived next door to the bar, and the car was there, and I was like, all right, so that cop's there. And then, the other one's just a gamble, but it's a big parish, so.
He's probably at somebody else's wife's house.
Right.
So, I mean, wildlife agents can pull you over, too.
So they can. They very well can. And so we're on our way back. I get halfway back to the camp, and I was like, oh no, my quarters! I left my big old bag of quarters.
The autism got him.
So we turn around, we go back to the bar, and the lady had my bag of quarters behind the bar. And she was like, I was hoping you'd come back. I have all your quarters. I was like, thank God you have all my quarters. Because, dude, it was like $200 of quarters. That's a bunch of quarters you can fit in a Crown Royal bag, So,
Why do you have to?
because it's an easy way to carry all your quarters.
Why do you have so many quarters?
To play pool.
Go buy a pool table.
How often do you play pool with quarters?
Not often, so it's like the bag's full when I go play. Anyway, so we're on our way back to the camp, and we're on the levee, and a big old herd of wild hogs start crossing the levee.
I thought I was going to say woodies. I was like, that's a flock.
And so Nicholas over here has a 9mm in his bib overalls and pulls out the fucking 9mm and John Wicks that whole fucking and you hear "Rah, rah, rah," going all the way down the freaking levee. There's blood everywhere.
Well, I mean, my chances were good.
And he was like, oh, it's like we hit some, we gotta get some. I was like, fuck no, we gotta get them, no. We gotta get the fuck out of here. It's one way in and one way out. If there's a game warden here, we're done. We're over. So I hauled
Actually,
ass
if
back
you
to camp.
call the game warden, you can hunt hog at night.
Yeah, but not from
Not from a
You
vehicle.
didn't have to tell them you were in a moving vehicle.
We weren't.
We stopped. The
It
vehicle
didn't stop
stopped.
for me.
Anyway,
But it was on private property.
it was on
right?
private.
Yeah.
It was on private property.
But I mean, my chances were great. I was completely hammered and I had 21 shots. So, I mean, you really can't.
So anyway, there was another night we go up to this bar. All right, and it was opening weekend of duck season. All right, and it was Duck Eve.
Deve, as some would say.
And Nick had a Woody.
It was early in the morning.
And there was this one chick that had no business being in this bar. And
she definitely deserved to be there.
so anyway, this chick comes up and she walks up to me and she was like, hey, she was like, you guys from around here? I was like, I'm from Central. And Nick was like, no, but we have a camp around here. It's like, like calling out around.
I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
And so he starts talking to this girl, and I mean, she was buying, like, eating every bit of it. Like, it was ridiculous. I was sitting back, and I was like, wow, Nick's ability to open and close, this is heroic. This is great,
Yeah, when I'm drunk.
So,
when I'm
oh,
sick.
dude, like fucking smooth. And so, anyway.
I don't know about that. I feel like I've been talking to people. I'm like, what they
And so,
Feel like Bill Power. Hey, baby, going
They all paint it.
don't get out of here.
and so this chick,
Dang, your house or mine, baby?
she went, she's like, I have a house, down, close to the private property that we spoke of earlier.
Was your husband there?
And Nick was like,
I was gonna find out.
Nick goes, well, we have a camp right down the road from that. We have a camp right down the road from that. You live there? And she was like, yeah, we live there. And she was like, you want to stop by the house for a couple of drinks?
That's a fucking loser.
And Nick turns to me and goes, Barrett, pick me up on the way back to the camp. I went, what do you mean pick you up on the way back to the camp?
You know what the fuck I
And
mean.
he was like, she lives right down the road. I was like, okay, all right, okay, fine, have fun. And he was like, he was like, when you coming back? I was like, text me when you're ready. I mean, it's right now.
30 seconds later.
Yeah, there.
Done.
Yeah, 15 seconds later.
Was it good for me?
So anyway, That was probably about 11:30 whenever they headed out from the bar. And about maybe 12:45, you know, I was up there, I was playing poker. It was poker night. You know, I was playing poker.
So was Nick.
I was playing poker with strangers.
He was also playing poker.
With strangers.
Just a different way.
With a stranger.
This is a better way, I think.
And so...
Had some liquor, too.
And so...
Liquor? I barely know her.
And so...
Every listener just went.
I get a phone call from Nick while I'm sitting at the bar. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he went, "Hey, where are you?" I went, "I'm still at the bar."
I wasn't hiding underneath this person's trailer.
So, and he was like, "This chick's married, and her old man came home." I went, "Oh fuck!"
He fucking worked offshore.
He did. He worked offshore.
Yeah.
I'm going with
And so-
somebody's ass.
And look, and it was the last hand, and I had lost out. And I was like, all right. I was like, I'm coming. So I leave. I made sure to get my bag of quarters. You know.
Thank God. That's what we were worried about.
I would have to turn around. And
Our listeners are sitting there going, "Did he bring his fucking quarters?"
This is a climax.
All right. So anyway, I get in the truck. I'm on the way back.
Forget Nick's life.
On the way back, and this guy is driving super slow, coming down the blacktop the opposite direction, and flashes his light at me. And I was like, "Ah, shit, is this a game warden? What is this?" You know. So I slowed down. I rolled the window down.
Yeah, he's the
And the guy,
fucking hood
the
police.
guy he was like, "You seen a guy out here with brown hair?"
I'm a guy out here with brown hair.
And I was like, "Coming from which direction, sir?" And he goes, "Back this way." He was like, "He won't be wearing pants." I went, "I have not." And he goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going back to my camp." "Where'd you camp?"
That ain't none of your fucking business.
I went, "I'm going that way. My camp is that way." And he went, "Tell you what, I won't be on this road. Come back and find me if you see somebody out here."
Oh, yeah, that's not ominous at all. Okay.
I went, okay. And so I drive up, the blacktop hits a gravel levee, and it goes right or left. You know? And so
A fork?
I go left, back towards the camp. And I get a call from Nick, and he goes, "Hey, flash your lights." And I flashed my lights, and he went, "Okay, good, that's you." And so Nick comes out from like the weeds, from behind bales of hay and shit, carrying a t-shirt in his boxers, and he has his boots and his wallet in one hand.
Okay, you got your wallet.
And I was,
I mean, that
The important
to say
shit.
that you always have to make sure.
Right.
You
Right.
can't leave all your personal information.
You can't come back on married chick, man. Only damn long now. That gone.
and so we
That
go,
gone poon police, bro.
Nick's got the wallet tucked in his boxers.
and my first question was, "Did that man see your face?" And he goes, "I don't think so." And I went, "Okay." Because here's the thing, they live by the fucking camp. I don't want to come home to ashes. I don't want to come back up to the camp to go hunting and there just be ashes, you know?
What are the chances that this man sees this podcast?
Wow.
If you're watching this, I'm not sorry.
If,
That lady had a fat ass.
If they're from up there, probably pretty low. I don't believe they have internet.
But look, she didn't mention to me at the bar, "Hey, I'm married," and she wasn't wearing a ring.
Why would she mention it to you when she's trying to fuck Nick?
I'm just saying, I didn't hear any of that
Hey,
shit.
I'm gonna fuck your cousin. I'm married. Hey, you.
I mean, honestly, dude, I think I was drunk enough at that point. I didn't really give a shit.
God.
I mean,
Did she mention it to you, Nick, or you just
Not
found out?
that I remember.
maybe casually.
Oh,
It
no.
never came up in the conversation.
Maybe in passing, you
I
know?
feel like when she turned around and I was like, "Yep, it's
Yeah.
trouble right there."
Yeah.
You
So,
gotta hurry up and finish before my husband comes home. What? Alright, I guess I gotta hurry up and finish.
Joke's on you. I was doing 2 minutes.
so
I just wanted the attention, I'm sorry.
the next time we go up to the camp, the trailer looks abandoned, and there's like kid toys in the yard.
You got a little nicklet out there.
Dude.
Is that where all the black bears came from? Just a bunch of baby nicks the dude didn't want, just put him outside. Now that the next Pecos
Just throw him
bills,
out there.
they're all the next Pecos bills, but they're all Nick's offspring from this chick.
Pecos next.
Yeah, we took the coyote and changed it with a bear. It's a little more badass.
Anyway,
So that's my badass story.
Nick's a badass.
Nick's a badass. Nick's a badass. Tinks.
I don't know, now I feel like shit.
Is it okay? So, John Bon, who is your personal badass? Because I think it might be the one that I have.
Who are you picking?
Your pawpaw.
I was supposed to pick too.
I was going to do that last and dedicate this pod to him and your nanny. Because it's us talking about hunting stories and stuff.
Yeah, I can say that. You know, my grandfather and my grandmother both were badasses because they lived their life really, really hard and took care of us. And I mean, I've got a master's degree now because of them, and my brothers are pretty decently.
I do want to tell this story about Mr. Vic. For the first time at your grandmother's funeral the other day, he hugged me, and I had just had my gallbladder surgery. He put his finger right there on one of the things.
Yeah.
But for the first time in that man in my life, he looked at somebody and said, "This is one of my boys." And bruh.
As he was digging in your gallbladder.
Oh, it hurt like a motherfucker. But he's never said that before, and it actually it got to me.
Yeah.
He would not have said that about me.
He might have.
No, he wouldn't.
And this is Bear.
No fucking way.
But
no way. Old man hates me.
Whenever
hate is a strong word.
Old man dislikes me.
Whenever because me and John have the same personal badass, Command Sergeant Major Roy Vick.
Taco Bell?
He used to call my father, and my father used to call him. We called my dad Little Vic there for a little while, and he'd be like, "Hey, I need some help planting potatoes." And I'd go over to John's house to quote unquote spend the night. And I would wake up at the ass crack before dawn. And me and John would be out there planting and digging up fucking potatoes. And Mr. Vic would bitch the entire time about how I was planting the potatoes.
The wrong way.
The wrong way. And so finally I said, "You know what, old man? Fuck you. You do it."
You never said fuck you.
I didn't say that. But in my mind, it's my story. It's my lie. I'll tell it how I fucking want. It is my lie. I will tell it how I want.
This is how he lived his truth.
This is how he lives his truth.
I thought this was a goddamn safe space, John Bond.
This is a safe space. We're the trust tree.
Fucking safe.
So I said, "Fuck you, old man. You do it." So he did it the exact same way.
You had it upside down.
I didn't have. It's a fucking seed.
It's a potato.
It's a fucking potato. Yeah, you got it still upside down.
Yeah. Anyway.
Y'all planted potatoes in Louisiana?
Yeah. Everybody does. You just can't store them. We can grow them. We just can't store them.
I've never played.
And then I was over there one time without you, and he said, "Boy, let me tell you something." I'm like, "Oh fuck, here we go." He goes, "You know all them times you and all y'all's buddies go out there coyote hunting and all that?" I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "I know what y'all was doing." I was like, "What were we doing?" "You were out there smoking and drinking and having a good time. I just never said nothing. Now don't you dare let John get me in any goddamn trouble." And this is right after your MIP.
He did not know about it until a year later.
And I was like, "Okay."
And your MIP should not have been your MIP.
It was our MIP. That I had to pay for and go for.
And then John got mad at me because I got one a few months later.
Yeah, because I took the rap for everybody, and this dumbass is gonna go get one himself.
No,
I went to jail.
Look, dude, look.
Big Dale didn't bail me out.
Where'd you go to jail at?
Hammond.
Yeah,
Lucky.
that was a bad time.
Dude, I got out the truck.
Wake up next morning.
Anna,
biscuit.
Anna Giot was the bartender at Spanky's or Double D, something like that.
Damn.
And I got fucking hammered. Just piss drunk. What? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
After the
yeah, I got pissed drunk, drove back to school because I was on the football team at the time. Stepped out with a big styrofoam cup, and the little girl I gave a ride to because I'm a nice guy
I'm a nice guy too.
Yeah. Starts freaking out.
Nick's a real nice guy.
And I didn't know why she was freaking out. And then I looked behind us and there was lights. And I go, fuck. And I lean into the truck. I said, just run upstairs. She goes, what? I said, fucking go. So she bolts. And the cop, what you doing tonight? Oh, nothing, coming back. Been hanging out. Well, what's in that styrofoam cup? And my answer was, would you believe a slushie? Well, he did not believe a slushie. So I went, threw it out. Put it back, threw away the cup in the back of my truck. I go, nothing. So there's a field sobriety test. And next thing I know, I'm in the drunk tank.
I mean, you didn't have to take that field sobriety test.
All right.
Nobody knows that at 18.
I'm 17. Oh, yeah, I'm 18. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I made that same mistake.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't have to take
You don't have to take it. You can say no. But they can.
They can revoke your license for a fucking year.
No, they can bring you to the station and do a blood test.
Yeah, but that has to be
If
drawn
you
by a
refuse.
medical professional.
It does. That's the thing.
9 times out of 10, the worst that'll happen is they can try to do that, but they'll just revoke your license. But it's better than having a DWI on your record.
Well,
your license being suspended for.
Well, how do you get your license back?
A lot of fucking money.
money and classes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
How long does that take?
Classes
I'll
on that
wake
put
up
the VHS
Fucking
tape on.
forever.
I wake up and I call Big Dale.
How do you know, Nick?
I played this game for fucking.
I wake up and I call Big Dale, my father, and he goes, what you doing? So they put me in the drunk tank, Dad. They said, I'm going to be here all weekend. He goes, all right, well, see you Monday. That was our conversation. Wake up the next morning, our defensive coordinator is walking down and goes, him. God damn it, Radley. Him.
No.
Bails us all out. I go to court and the judge goes, you play for this college at this town in Hammond? And I said,
Which one is it?
I said, yes.
Yeah, Delta Community College.
Is there a Delta in Hammond?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, very cool.
I said, yes, sir. And he goes, you gonna do this again? No, sir. He goes, all right, have a good day. Oh, everything dropped. You were not happy about that.
No, because mine was go to this thing, I paid close to $1,000.
Yeah, you had to leave school. Like, I remember.
To go leave school to go to this thing, to sit down in front of a videotape and listen to them tell me how the bottle of Jack Daniels I had in my pocket was going to make me turn into a drunk who beats his kids.
And look at you now.
Yeah, I've only beat my kids twice this week.
Yeah.
I'm
Good
kidding.
for you.
I haven't beat them at all.
I would have gave my left nut for it to just cost me $1,000.
How
I
much did
paid
it
like
cost?
20 grand and I had to go sit in a bunch of classes.
No, 20 grand?
Yeah,
Wow.
that was just for my first offense.
Dude, he told me he was going light on me. I didn't feel
That
like
was a
it.
second offense?
That was a
No,
third of
it
my
wasn't
bank
a
account at the time. It was $1,000.
That was like everything I had.
Mine was just. Yeah, I got off with court fees.
You must have been a dick, Nick. How old were you?
You got a bunch of asshole charges.
28.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different.
I was like, that was a week. That was like exactly a week before I turned 21. Yeah.
No.
I had to go to classes and hear about how other people were like sucking dick for crack and shit like that.
Yeah, they divided us into
It's
weed
not
and
an
alcohol
addiction.
and hard
Yeah.
drugs.
And then, like,
And they gave us different tapes.
It's not an addiction until you suck a dick.
it came to be my turn. They're like, "What'd you do?" I was like,
I sucked a dick for crack.
I was like,
Well, what happened was that was his married woman,
I
right?
was like, I got shit faced and I drove my truck a little bit.
A little bit.
Everybody was like, "That ain't shit." I
So-
was like, yeah, I know.
So in closing, this pod is dedicated to Mr. Vic, Command Sergeant Major.
Who's not listening to this podcast?
No, he's not listening.
Not at all.
I would love to have him on, but the whole podcast would him be going, what? And us be like, Mr. Vic, what did you do in Vietnam? What?
Blood makes the grass grow.
And then he called me a dumbass.
And it's noteworthy to say that the part of the things that make him a badass were that he volunteered, and he did 2 tours in Vietnam. He volunteered the first tour. He'll tell you that he damn sure didn't volunteer the second tour, but he went anyway. And
Green Beret.
and, yeah, well, and he's just survived a whole bunch of shit. We won't go into all of that, but he's just awesome.
Yeah, it's not our story to tell. But
And raised 4 boys, right? That were his grandsons. So appreciate it.
But that does it for this week. As always, we'll see y'all next week. Tune in every week. Like, subscribe. Let's get to that 100, 150, 200. Let's see how many we can get. How many followers. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it from the Damn It Rad Podcast.
Thanks for stopping by.
We out.
Bye, guys.